My best relationships are founded on caffeine and sugar.
If I feel lit up, it's a yes.
Did you say if you feel it up?
I'm one kidney shy, but I'm gonna look smashing.
Welcome to Coffee and Cupcakes with Christy B. I'm Christy B, and here I have one of my very best friends ever in the whole wide freaking world, Erin.
Hi.
Thank you for being here.
Oh, thanks for having me.
And thanks for sharing my coffee and cupcakes.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I love coffee and cupcakes.
Who doesn't? Coffee and cupcakes.
Fools don't.
Really the foundation of what our friendship is built on.
I call her regularly. I'm like, if you want me to come over, there better be coffee.
It's true.
No deal.
It is. It's no deal unless there's coffee. And I think that some of my best relationships are founded on caffeine and sugar. I mean, kind of makes sense. But I do have to be careful with the caffeine because I'm like already on cup 3 this morning.
Oh.
And what happened around cup 2 is that my face started to like pulsate, right? Like it had its own heartbeat.
What is your face pulsating? That's weird. My face does not pulsate unless I get socked in the mouth, which doesn't happen.
Very often. Doesn't happen much.
Sometimes.
My face is pulsating because I started doing one of these at-home peel things.
I want to do that.
Right.
I want my face to pulsate.
You don't want to do it. You want to do it, but you don't want to do it.
Do it when you're on lockdown, like you've done something wrong and you're on home arrest.
Yeah, but you have to be on home arrest for like 6 weeks. Although they tell you like you can go out in the world and it's fine and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, no, pulsating face, peeling skin.
Ooh, that's sexy.
Oh, it's very
You
sexy.
should totally go out like that.
I have to. I can't hide for 6 weeks. I can't like stop working for 6 weeks. Do you remember that scene in Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark? Remember the scene when the Nazi opens up the lid of the Ark and his face melts off? I'm like, that's how it fucking feels. Feels like my face is melting.
Oh my gosh. What about when Samantha got her chemical peel and then her boyfriend had the big release? And she had to go like that with the veil.
That's what it looks like.
Oh no, it's the book release.
Yes. And she had the big like hat, the derby hat with the veil. I've been wearing hats because I have to stay out of the sun, but I haven't thought of the veil. The veil is very
It'll
smart.
create mystery.
Mystery and intrigue. But you're right. Her face was so bright red, and that's what it looks like in the morning. So then I'm trying to like cake on all of this makeup and stuff, but
doesn't that re-damage or clog the pores that you're trying to rebirth?
You know what? Okay, you used the perfect term, rebirth. I mean, that is actually what the doctor says that his whole system does, is that it wakes up your skin again. Your skin gets dormant, and that you literally are rebirthing your skin, and you are traumatizing your skin to bring about cell generation.
Wow. With great power comes great responsibility.
Yes. So anyway, I'm midway through my trauma, but I can already tell that it's working because of things that he explained, how the pores in our skin work. It's really actually quite fascinating. And our pores, I won't get all into it because it's actually kind of dull and wasn't.
Yeah, it's not that interesting. We just want to know we're going to be fucking hot. And it was all worth the burn. It's the same thing as working out.
I'm like the one that's like all into the science of it though. Like I want to know like how many millimeters does my pore expand like every year? That's Anna. So that just calling now is my friend that told me about it. And I told her later, I'm like, you did not explain to me that this hurts.
The level of torture.
Yeah. I'm like, you didn't tell, like, this was not full disclosure at all.
What
but
part
that's
of
maybe what we do for
what
our
part
friends.
of like actual beauty, like real beauty, not those freaks that are in movies that we all love.
Oh, like
and
alien
idolize.
beauty because they're aliens. They're
Yeah.
not, they're not real.
Total.
Yeah.
Martian hot.
They're Martian hot. That's like models. Models are Martian hot because they are not of this
not real.
world. They're not real. Okay.
They don't have cellulite. They don't have pimples. They don't have bags in the morning. They can like smoke cigarettes and do heroin and look smoking hot the next day.
Don't you wish? If only. That's my dream life. Cigarettes and heroin.
Well, what about coffee and cupcakes?
Continue, darling.
But like what part of, so I just went out to a show over the weekend, and I know that I have injuries, and I had two choices. Boots that were flat on the ground, or boots, stiletto version of boots.
The hooker heels.
Yeah, like super hot, like Martian hot heels. And although I'm not of Martian status, my shoes definitely were.
Right, yeah.
Well, I went with the hot ones. Then we had to park 6,000, blocks away. And then we not only walked to the venue, we had to walk to the venue, back to the car, to the venue, back to the car, get food, then back to the venue, then back to the car. My feet, like towards the end, I was like, and I really paid to look as cute as I could possibly look. Wait.
I have a question. Okay.
But at said show and venue, a girl came up to me who was probably 15 years younger than me, super adorable, super trendy. And she goes, "You are so beautiful. I just have to tell you right now that every detail about you is completely on point. You are so hot." And then she looks at my friend, who is a boy that I was there with, and she goes, "You two have a good night." And then left.
Really?
Yeah. And I was like, it was totally worth it. I don't care if I'm walking on hot coals. So
that was my question.
Shallow. I like compliments.
My question, of course, is going to be, was it worth it? Because I usually feel like it
was hard to be in those shoes all night like that. And I won't do it next time.
But that moment, that one moment.
That payoff.
When the
vanity payoff.
Right. When the Martian alien model, like,
that's all we've
child comes up to you and tells you that you're beautiful.
She
you're
was
like,
to die.
You're like, I bow to you, but no, bow to me. Yes, thank you. And you're
it's
like,
a mutual bowing.
Yeah, you're like,
this whole thing. This whole thing.
Just threw this on.
I just totally woke up like this.
What are you talking about? I don't have 15 layers of makeup caked on my face right now, trying to hide the snake shedding monster beneath. Stop, darling. You're fabulous. I love you.
Snake shedding monster. Wow.
I feel like a snake shedding monster.
If you were going to review the product that you were using, is that what you would say?
When I do my Yelp review, because I will, because it's not going to be negative. Like, I'm already starting, I can see some of the positive effects that are coming out of this. But I'm going to be completely honest. Like, that's what I think.
Well, that's what online's for, kind of, too. It's like that community, right?
I think that some people forget that, or some people maybe either forget about the pain that you have to go through to get to a certain result. But like, I feel like when I'm going into something, or I'm trying a new product or service or experience or whatever, like, I want to know everything. That's also just part of my personality, is that I want to know everything. We had this conversation earlier. We can go back to that. But I'm like, I'm disappointed whenever someone in their review or assessment doesn't like give me all of the details so I can make up my mind. Like, I want to hear about the bad aspects of the process, but then I want to hear about the results, and then I get to decide whether it's worth it. But I think a lot of times people that are really enthusiastic about recommending something, they shy away from sharing that with you because they're afraid that you're not going to use it or you're not going to do it.
No, that's a good point.
And they want to make sure that you get all of the benefits and amazing results that they've gotten, so they like withhold that. But I know for me personally, like, I want to know that, because otherwise I don't feel like it's genuine. I don't feel like it's authentic.
I think I share both ends of that spectrum, but just not like I couldn't like unleash the scroll of research I've done like you.
Oh my God,
I just want the cliff notes, like what's the good, what's the bad,
right?
And then tell me the bottom line, and then I just want to go get it, or I want to say, nah, I'm out,
Right.
I'm a cliff note kind of girl.
Okay, well, I can always give you cliff notes.
Unless you're telling me a fun story. story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then I'm like different. But
Right.
yeah, like to Google all this stuff, that's why I call her. And I'm like, is this good or not? And she's like, let me see. It says that blah, blah, blah. And then I hear blah, blah, blah. And then I'm like, so is that a yes?
Well, I mean, it was just like when I was telling you about this before, we sat down, I was like, I just paid a boatload of money. Like, I mean, you could like sell a kidney to go to this doctor and like get this whole thing. Like, and it's totally worth it. But I'm like,
I'm one kidney shy, but I'm going to look smashing.
That's all that matters. Let's be honest.
I mean, it cost me a simple kidney. What am I going to do with two?
Totally with it. You have an extra.
That's what it's for.
You have one face but two kidneys. Clearly the choice is obvious.
That's how we think, kind of though. Like, I know that's hyperbole, but in real life, it kind of is.
It is. I mean, it's not, but it is, but it's not. Right.
But like, kind of is.
But I'm like, I just paid a boatload of money to this guy who has been doing this for decades and is like a world-renowned expert, and he's well educated and like all of this. And he told me I had rosacea, and I was like, I don't believe you. And so
I need a second opinion. Google.
Google's totally always my second, third, fourth, and fifth opinion. And so I tell her, and I'm like, I don't believe this. Let me go do my own research. And then I'm like, oh, he may be onto something. Doctor may know what he's talking about.
Mr. Beverly Hills might have a trick or two up his doctor's sleeve.
Right. And now I'm like, I've vetted his, expert opinion through my own Google research. So now he's legit in my book because I say so.
Right.
But
that's what you need.
That is what I need.
I need a fancy office and a name tag. But yeah, kind of.
I mean, I guess you could say, like, do we kind of break down into two camps like that, just as people in decision-making process? Like,
ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah, I've actually never thought about this because
I
we're actually on extreme sides of this, right? Like you just said, I need a fancy office and a name tag, and you're making a joke, but you're kind of serious. And right. I'm saying, like, I need to personally vet this person and information myself through my own research.
That's so funny.
And it really is true. I wonder if everybody is one camp or the other.
I bet you they are. I do. I think we're like that. I think that some people are so cognitive. I'm like, how does it sound? How does it feel? How does it, how does it smell? How does it taste? Like, that's how I am. If I feel lit up, it's a yes.
Did you just say if you feel it up?
If I feel it up.
Yay or nay? After I felt it up.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. It's a yes. Or, oh, no. Well, that is how I am, though. I will grope.
Okay, this was not what I planned on talking about at all, but that's actually what I love, though, because this is how our conversations go.
This is how we are too. Just run with it.
And this is also, I feel like, what stimulates like interesting, the conversations that we have. So I want to actually use the last couple minutes to finish up this topic in kind of like, all right, since we know how we are and how we like to make decisions and process information, what are, like, very quickly, like, what are the downfalls of each being, one or the other? And then what are some of the strategies that we can employ to make sure that we, are making the best decisions? All right. So I'm the information gatherer. I'm very cognitive.
Yeah, you are.
And so here are the downfalls of being that way, is that I can get stuck in analysis paralysis, is what I call it, right? Just analyzing things to the nth degree and then never making a decision, or being so tormented because the truth is that you never have enough information. I should say, I never am going to have enough information to make my decision. So that is like my pitfall with my type.
So you just keep gathering.
You just keep gathering. So part of my strategy that I'm realizing for myself is that I allow myself my information gathering phase.
Is it set by time?
Yeah, set by time or set by certain parameters, but there's a limit to it. And then I create options for myself, like ideally 2 options, but maybe 3 options. And then between that, I try to use a little bit more of like a body checking mechanism, like when people talk about like, oh, my gut is drawn to this one.
Right.
It's the one I'm like drawn to that I can't explain why it feel it, but it just feels right. So that's my strategy, but I have to do both in order to feel satisfied.
Got it.
Okay, now you go.
So I do both, but not to feel satisfied, to feel confident, right? So I am totally feeling based. I have to get really excited and like a charge from whatever the idea is. And then I'm supposed to, or what is a good practice for me, is to gather information.
Okay.
And then go back to the feeling. And then if I feel good about it,
you still feel good about it.
and I have my own body checking techniques too, but it's super similar, you know. And I if I get tingly, it's a solid yes. I don't even have to do research.
Wow.
I just have to go for it. And if I gather too much information, I get overwhelmed and I'll ditch because I don't care.
You're like, bail, out of here.
I am like that because if I'm gonna do a facial treatment, I don't care about the facial treatment. I'm not invested in the facial treatment. I'm only invested in the results.
Wow. So here's what I would like to do is I'd like to keep the conversation going, and I would like for you in the comments below to tell us, what type are you? Does any of this resonate with you? And like, what are some of your decision-making strategies? And are you an analyzer? Or are you more of a gut checker? So leave your comments below and make sure to subscribe for more coffee and cupcakes.
Yay.
Cheers to the next time.